best in Europe. That's from the entire Europe Southeast. Charlie Rowing is on standby, of course, now to give us very latest. Charlie Rowing, take it away.
Good afternoon, guys. Charlie Rowing, European football journalist, joining you once again from the United Kingdom. And it's another big weekend of Premier League football. But before I get to that, and especially Chelsea versus Burnley, a game that you can follow live on TV47, I just want to quickly recap what was a wild Champions League week after we had the first legs of the playoff round. By far the biggest shock of the week came for, well, the team I used to work for, Juventus, as they were beaten 5-2 by Galatasaray, and that's despite Juve being 2-1 up at one stage. The Bianconeri were hit with constant attacks in the second half that they had no answer for, and even finished the game with 10 men. It's going to be a tough ask for Juve to turn the game around in Turin next week. However, the last time they needed to score 3 goals in a knockout stage game, they only went and did it, and I was actually there to witness it when Cristiano Ronaldo famously scored a hat-trick against Atletico Madrid in 2019. And speaking of Atleti, who are also a team close to my heart after having lived in Madrid for a year, they ended up drawing 3-3 with Club Bruges and also threw away an advantage, this time of 2-0. With Ademola Lookman even scoring his first Champions League goal for the club. But fair play, the Belgian side managed to show a lot of fight, and they will take a well-earned draw to the Metropolitano in Madrid next week when they go again against Diego Simeone's men. Finally, the last game I want to touch upon is the Norwegian sensation Bodo Glimt, absolutely stunning Inter Milan 3-1 in Norway. But at this stage, should we really even be surprised? They beat Atletico Madrid, who I just spoke about, 2-1 in Madrid on the last league stage match day, and also beat Manchester City 3-1. But what makes it all the more staggering is the fact that these are the only 3 games that Bodo have played since the 10th of December. Simply extraordinary, and let's see if they can follow it up at San Siro next week. Now, on to the Premier League, and Manchester City will be licking their lips after Arsenal somehow threw away a 2-0 lead to draw 2-2 away at Wolves, and they have a game in hand on the Gunners. However, it must be said, they still have to win their matches to close the 5-point gap, and they have a difficult game against Eddie Howe's Newcastle this evening, and they'll be in a confident mood after picking up 3 back-to-back away wins. Tottenham in the Premier League, Aston Villa in the FA Cup, and 6-1 away in the Champions League to Qarabag. Equally though, Man City are also on a decent run of form, unbeaten in their last 5, so let's see who comes out on top at the Etihad. I'm just going to quickly skip ahead to tomorrow before today's featured game, and that's by mentioning the huge North London derby between Tottenham and Arsenal. It is, of course, new manager Igor Tudor's first game for Spurs following the firing of Thomas Frank, and he's got a real baptism of fire playing arch-rivals Arsenal, as he looks to steer Tottenham clear of a Premier League relegation battle. However, all the pressure is going to be on Mikel Arteta's men, as they're the ones that are top of the table, in theory the best team in the country, and they themselves also need to get back on track after 2 disappointing back-to-back draws in the Premier League. Now, coming on to Chelsea versus Burnley, it's a game that you can of course follow live on TV47, and it's been a good start to life at Chelsea for Liam Rosenior. He's not lost a game in the Premier League since taking over, and he's won both of his matches in the Champions League and FA Cup, with his only defeats coming in the League Cup semi-finals to Arsenal. When it comes to the EPL, however, Chelsea are just simply not in the title race this season, and they're playing for a spot in the Champions League next year, plain and simple. And depending upon results, they could even find themselves in the top 4 this weekend. As for Burnley, well, they're trying their best to put up a fight to stay in the Premier League, but it looks very much like Scott Parker's men are heading straight back down to the Championship, where they finished 2nd last season. They're 9 points from safety, so of course, escaping relegation is still very much possible. But unfortunately, I just don't think they're going to manage it, and they'll be going back down with Wolves and whoever finishes in 18th spot. My prediction to the game is 4-0 for the Blues, but look, whatever happens, you can follow it live on TV47. Asante Sana.
Asante sana, my very good friend Charlie Rowing. Thank you very much. Boniface Kimanzi is doing a good job in teaching you some Kiswahili lesson. Charlie Rowing, well done for actually telling us asante sana. At least I know how to say it in English. Thank you very much, really indeed, for that in-depth look at what is happening in the English Premier League. And as we rightfully say, Charlie Rowing, we are definitely airing that game. Charlie Rowing, I have, if Charlie Rowing is around here, of course, we'll be able to engage him later on. But Charlie Rowing, let's leave. Charlie Rowing is preparing to watch that Chelsea versus Burnley game. Chelsea versus Burnley. Shifting gears. 3 Chelsea fans here, 2 Manchester